Hey YouTube, Israel here with another knife review. I've shown this knife before but never did a full review, and I think it's a very good knife. It's the Boker Direkt. Now Direkt is spelled with a K, okay, instead of a C, so if you look it up, Boker Direkt. It is a Chad Los Banos design, alright, and Boker's a German company, but most of their stuff is made in China, but don't let that throw you. This is one of the higher quality Bokers. Alright, flipper opening, boom. Alright, and here you first look at the blade itself. You know, it is a partial hollow grind. It is a clip point. Alright, that's 440C, alright, with a dark gray coating. It's open pillar construction. Alright, it is a liner lock mechanism. You see there's some jimping on the liner there. And there is a sub hilt. Okay, the contour of the handle is a sub hilt. The handle scales are G10. Alright, see the lanyard hole there. The pocket clip. And it comes right side, tip down carry. But it is a 4-position clip. It can be right or left, tip up or tip down. It's very nice. Now, Chad Los Banos, famous knife designer. I believe he designed the Trance, and did he design the Sub Claw? He's designed a lot of good knives for Boker, let's just put it that way, and some fixed blades too. Now look at the oversized flipper there, right? It even has jimping on the flipper, but that's good because it makes deployment very easy. This is not a spring assist, this is just manual, but you know, opening it is very easy. Even having to stay in the frame, I could open it, and the flipper turns into a guard. All right, you see, so that's nice because it has what they call a coffin style handle shape actually, which is basically rectangular. You know, no funky contours or anything, but the sub hilt plus the guard keeps you locked in. All right, and there's a little thumb ramp here, and that thumb ramp does even have jimping on it, but you know, it locks you in. And this is more of a fighting design. Chad Los Banos does design fighters. Right, and you can see the texture of the handle. It has these diagonal type little cutout portions right there, and then raised portions here, which are textured, a little bit of cross hatch texturing there. Right, now the lockup on this is secure. There's no blade play, right, and it does even have thumb studs if you would prefer to use the thumb studs to open it. Alright, and the blade design, that clip point, the length on that is 3.6 inches. Very functional design if you're thinking of fighter, you know, good penetration, right, and a nice belly for the size. Alright, and it does feel fairly lightweight. I mean, that is thick G10, okay, so it's not like super lightweight, but for its size, it doesn't feel overly heavy. You know, I'm not sure the exact weight, but I just go by, you know, I go by feel and what's comfortable to me. All right, now the price tag on this is around $45, and I have to say this is one of Boker's better EDC / emergency defensive type folders. Just the workmanship is good. There's no blade play, as I said. The deployment is fast and easy. You know, you can't screw that up. The blade shape is functional. 440C, perfectly adequate for light utility / fighter. Right, and the price $45. It's mid-range, and I like the length. It's small enough, short enough that you could EDC this, but it is the larger end of that spectrum. You know, for the emergency use, it does give you some good reach. All right, now there are different versions of this knife. All right, see this? This is the serrated version. If you see the serrations, okay, they're actually on the belly of the knife, which is strange. You almost never see that, right? And people might wonder, oh my God, are those going to get caught up? And you know, I gotta say, if you're using your knife correctly, it's not gonna really matter, okay? And by correctly, I mean, look, there's knife moves to enter to close range, and then there's what you do at close range. And if you get to close range at the right time in your conflict. You know, how can I put this? You don't need an edge. You don't need an edge if you're at the right position. All you need is a tip, okay? This will go right through a neck, even if it had no edge. So if you're wondering if serrations can slit a throat as well as plain edge, yup. But hopefully you'll never have to do that. But people always ask that, so there you go. That's the serrated version. And now there are some copies out there. All right, let me just show you the copies real quick. This is a Smith & Wesson knife. The blade is slightly thinner and slightly longer. All right, and I believe this is called the G10 Liner Lock. I actually reviewed it long ago, but this is like $17. So if you have a need for, and as you can see, they're kind of, you know, it is based on the Boker design, even so far as the handle texture is copied. Okay, so I don't know, if you want like a thin beater version of the Boker, you know, check out, I don't even know if they still sell this, but I just wanted to show it. Smith & Wesson G10 Liner Lock knife. And one more. This is a very cloned knife, I guess. I just got this knife this week. This is basically a Chinese copy of an already Chinese knife. This is, you see they've added a glass breaker. Pretty cool. They've added a seatbelt cutter. And this is actually assisted, okay? So, boom. And it comes out nice. This was about $16 shipped. And as you can see, you know, it's basically a copy. I mean, they've added the glass breaker, and the handles on this are metal as opposed to G10, okay? So kind of a cheap and dirty version of the Boker. And again, if you're looking for maybe a trainer or, I don't know, just a much cheaper version, maybe you can find this on eBay, or I found this on Amazon. But there's actually no play. I mean, it actually is a solid knife. Okay, and who knows? They're probably, they might even be made in the same factory. Who knows? But this is 440 C2, and I just thought it was interesting that it has an assist. Assist works well. All right, so a much copied knife. Okay, you got the real one, you got the serrated one, and then Smith & Wesson and the Chinese copy. You know, I mean, they're all pretty good knives, I have to say. All right, so Boker Direkt, recommended? Yes, it is. I mean, it's a handy little fighter. It's no frills. I liked it, just the basic handle. You know, no weird super shaping of the handle like you see on a lot of gimmicky knives, and a very functional blade shape. Good deployment, good lockup. I could certainly use this to defend myself, and at $45, that's a very reasonable price for this blade. So yeah, if it speaks to you and fits your style, I wouldn't hesitate to get this as a larger EDC slash smaller defender, or maybe medium-sized defender. And Boker Direkt, Chad Los Banos. Bam, there it is. I hope you like this knife review. Stay tuned for many more. This has been Israel, and I am out.